You're listening to the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to make sure you get the latest episodes of the podcast. Be sure to like and share our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Let's have a look at England and talk about their chances of winning back-to-back Cricket World Cups in 2023. Their captain is Jos Buttler. They've won one World Cup, and that was back in 2019. That famous final at Lord's against New Zealand, which was an epic final and controversial at the same time, as we know. The squad that they've selected is Buttler, Ali, Atkinson, Bairstow, Brooke, Sam Curran, Livingston, Malan, Rashid, Root, Stokes, Topley, Willie, Wood and Wokes. It's a pretty good squad that they've assembled, England, for this World Cup. Not many members from the 2019 squad. They've got a few new faces in the squad, but the players who played in that World Cup winning squad in 2019, Buttler, Ali, Bairstow, Root, Rashid, Stokes, Wood and Wokes, are the only few members left from that 2019 campaign. As I mentioned, it's a pretty strong squad for England. They've got a lot of talented players. Their batting is quite strong. Their bowling is capable of taking wickets and putting teams under pressure. So it's a pretty good squad, good balance. Pretty much got all bases covered. And they should be one of the favourites to win back-to-back titles, England. But it's not a very easy thing to do, winning back-to-back titles in World Cups. Obviously, Australia have done it, of course, winning 3 World Cups on the trot. But for England, yeah, it's always going to be a challenge for them. Expectations, people have expectations on the team winning back-to-back titles because they won the tournament last time. Obviously, it's in different conditions. It's in India, it's in the subcontinent. Ball would turn, spin, the pitches will be conducive to that. Different everything, really. But England are capable of doing that. You have a look at their batting. They've got some match winners. You know, Butler's dangerous. Moeen Ali, on his day, he can be dangerous as well. Johnny Bairstow at the top of the order can be destructive. Harry Brook is an exciting young talent who's, really doing well in his international career. Liam Livingstone, he can be dangerous as well. Darwin Malan has done well at the top of the order for England. Joe Root's quality and class, and Ben Stokes' quality as well. So their batting's quite strong. Their bowling is pretty good, capable of taking wickets. Mark Wood's pretty good. He bowls pace. Chris Wokes can be handy. Sam Curran is a wicket taker. David Willey, who didn't play in the last World Cup in 2019. He can take wickets and do a job with the ball. Reece Topley, he's had his injury concerns and setbacks, but good to see him in the World Cup squad for England. He can take wickets as well. Gus Atkinson, who's a bit of a newcomer to the England World Cup squad for this World Cup. He bowls pace as well. An exciting talent there. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in this World Cup. And then you've got the quality of the spin in terms of Dil Rashid. We know he's a wicket taker. Moeen Ali can chip in with some wickets as well. So they've got pretty much all bases covered, really. And the England one-day team, ever since Jos Buttler took over from Owen Morgan and Matthew Mott, who was the former coach of the Australian women's team, now the coach of the England ODI and T20 team. Since they came in as captain and coach, England have had a little bit of a up and down sort of period, really, which happens when you change a captain and a coach. And they struggled a little bit, but they're starting to come good now. They're starting to get that cohesion and unity in the squad, and they're just starting to do very well. So it will be interesting to see how they go in this World Cup. Obviously, the big talking point from the England squad is Ben Stokes returning from retirement. announced his retirement from one-day cricket, but obviously coming back for this World Cup, making a comeback, and he's probably going to have a very good World Cup, Ben Stokes, even though he won't be bowling because of his knee problems, and we all know that. It's been well documented, but, you know, as a batter, playing as a specialist batter in this England side, I think he's going to have a very productive World Cup because, as we saw in the one-day series against New Zealand recently, he scored that 180 odd against New Zealand, which was a world record-breaking score for England in one-day cricket. And he absolutely took New Zealand to bits in that innings, absolutely dominated them. So that's very ominous for the other teams looking at that. And Ben Stokes, obviously he was the match winner in 2019. Without Ben Stokes, England would not probably win that World Cup final in 2019. So, you know, he was an important player in that final for England. He's a match winner, as we know. Obviously, we saw that in the Ashes a few months back, leading the side the way he has. He's one of those game changers. And, you know, for him to come back into this one-day team for England for this World Cup, England are very pleased that he accepted to come back. As I mentioned, strong batting, strong bowling. You would think England should feature in the World Cup towards the back end, in the semi-finals at least, and then whatever happens from there happens. But yeah, pretty good squad, England. Just to finish up on England, good squad, good batting, good bowling. They've really revolutionised how they play their one-day cricket. Obviously, we remember what happened in 2015, where they lost against Bangladesh badly. They had to turn things around. Owen Morgan led them to World Cup success in 2019. Can Josh Butler lead them to back-to-back titles in 2023? That will be the question. But England are more than capable of doing that in this World Cup in India. The Dibbly Dobbly Podcast has you covered for the ICC Cricket World Cup for 2023. We will be providing previews, reviews of the tournament, plus live streams and watch-alongs of all Australia's ICC Cricket World Cup 2023 matches. Any selected matches throughout the tournament, semi-finals and final. Also, we will be providing match reviews of all Australia's ICC Cricket World Cup 2023 matches, plus semi-finals and final. Make sure you subscribe to the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast YouTube channel so you don't miss out on all of our ICC Cricket World Cup 2023 coverage.